Hello, welcome to my blog channel, Wise Woman Dreaming. My name is Donna Raymond, and I'm going to be starting off a series of question and answers. So if you feel like you want to write into me via my website, which is www.donnaraymond.com.au, go to the connect page there and send me a little email if you've got a question that you feel I can share some insights or shed some light into. So this question comes from a guy named Adam, and it says, Dear Donna, having read a lot of self-help books and various philosophies, I am confused. Self-help ideas suggest we set goals, visualize and take action for an improved life, etc. Whereas most philosophy tells us to be content with what we have and our place in life and to limit desires. Maybe it comes down to, is it good to try and actively make things happen, or better to just allow what will be? Best regards. Wow, Adam, I thought this is a really, really awesome question to put into a video format because I have a feeling I have a lot to say on it. Yeah, first of all, it's a really, really good question, and we can interpret it in two different ways. So ultimately, I kind of work on the realm of dreaming into being. So you have an idea or a goal or something that you're aspiring to, and you visualize it and you bring that vision to the forefront of your consciousness. But with anything, a dream is just a dream unless you put things into action or you set goals to make them happen. And that is coming into the true power of manifestation. There's a lot of new agey kind of stuff out there which just focuses on the vision boards and in the dreaming kind of parameters and just using visualization and affirmations and all that jazz. And that works to some degree, but it doesn't work for everybody. It can be that type of process where you kind of put it out there and you might surprise yourself in a couple of years, but it depends where you want to work with it and where you want to steer your life as a creator as well, and knowing that you have the choice to steer yourself in whatever direction that you choose. And a lot of that comes down to action. It comes down to direct effort and setting up the short-term and long-term goals that you can work towards to bring in that vision or that goal or desire that you have quicker. Where I like to work and what level I've been working on lately, particularly with my business as well, is just mapping exactly and being really clear with where I'm heading with whatever goal that is, whether it's in my personal life or business life or how I'd like to share myself in the world or share resources or coming into the levels of philanthropy as well. So it's mapping it, writing down my core values and my core goals. And I do this and I've learnt to do this so that any opportunity that comes my way, I can start to use my core values as a benchmark of what I'm choosing to align to and what I'm choosing to bring into my world. So, if someone says, hey, we've got this, speaking event we'd really like you to come along to, I can kind of suss it out a little bit and see if those core values match up to where I'm actually heading. And if they're not, then I won't engage in it because I know where I'm going, and it's choosing to funnel my energy into that direction with active participation. When you kind of loosely map, and just remembering that the map is not the territory, so you're just kind of getting a language or a vocabulary to steer it in the direction that you choose. There's magic in that once you align to something, there is flow and there is surrender in that. And the surrendering comes into not controlling outcomes or situations, is to be really present in the moment and to feel into where it may be taking you. And a lot of the times, even where you think you're going is not where you're heading, if you understand what I mean. Like sometimes we think, okay, yep, I've made this decision and I'm going in this direction, and then something happens and life throws us a curveball. And that's where it pays to be really mindful and respectful to where you're at, where your emotions at, to really surrender into whatever life throws at you. And coming into the philosophical level is that you're only going to be given experiences that you can really journey through and that are going to facilitate the most epic growth for you. Some of those journeys can lead to really full on catharsis and a shedding of skin and belief systems as well. And that's okay. And there is a magic in the realms of being in that feeling center where you don't know what's going on or things are too far beyond your grasp, and you kind of lose the faculties that help to keep you anchored and to keep you grounded, and we kind of go into story or um, the emotions that come through that can be quite tumultuous. But when we soften into that space and don't resist it, and there's great magic and there's great beauty in there, and the beauty is coming into that reflection of self that you've chosen it on some level, whether you choose to believe it or not. This is my perspective, is that you've chosen it to facilitate that growth, that you are strong enough to overcome whatever perceived challenge it is in front of you. So to really refine and to answer your question, I really feel it's a combination of both. And whenever you're working in any kind of healing realms, whether you're going into deep shadow work or, clearing up old belief systems, you have to merge both worlds. It's the spiritual, philosophical world, and it's the physical, real-time 3D world. Like, we are here for a physical experience. You are a human being having a spiritual experience, and it's coming into bridging those worlds so that they work together, so that it is going into the full visualization, the dreaming, and also understanding that one of the greatest powers that we have as individuals is the power of our dreaming. It is the power of the idea that can come in, that can help to shape the way we choose to express ourselves and to expend our energy as well, what we choose to align to. But it all comes down to having the visualization and the affirmations and all of that, and actually writing shit down and finding practical ways to do them, to facilitate that change that you want, or to work towards a goal, whether it's by yourself or together. Things don't magically fall out of the sky. You are a creator, and it's really stepping into your role and your responsibility of being the master of your own life and what it is you wish to create. There was a really amazing parable that I don't know where I've heard it from. But it was something along the lines of this guy having dialogue with God or with spirit, and saying that, you've forsaken me. Felt really, really hard done by, and was really playing in the victim archetype. And God speaking to him and said, what do you want? What do you want? And you are my child, all that sort of jazz. And the guy says, I'd really like to win the lottery. And God made a bargain with him and said, okay, it's done. So years and years and years went by, and this guy still hadn't won the lottery. And finally he gets really shitty, and he has this dialogue with God, and he's really angry and pissed off with him. And he's just like, God, why have you forsaken me? You said that I was going to win the lottery, and it's been all these years, and all of my friends have succeeded, and here I am, and I haven't won the lottery yet, and I'm still poor. And then God turns around, Spirit turns around and says, yeah, I said that you would win the lottery, but it's you that has to purchase the ticket. And I remember hearing that, and I was like, boom, there's like so much power in that as a metaphor for our life. It's like, seize the opportunity, seize the day, take it, grasp the moment, and make the most out of it. You're only here for a limited time. You're immortal in this sense of your physical experience. So you're the type of person that's just going to sit back, relax, and go with the flow, or you're really going to take charge and command of your life and start to steer it. Even on a boat, the ocean has its course and its currents that we can't see or feel into. And, even if you go on the boat analogy, you have your rudder in and you're kind of steering through. But there's an ebb and flow, and there's a trust in that with the vessel being on the water. So you're still in the flow and the mythic power of the water that could steer you in a direction if you were to just drift and you would drift for a long time very slowly. Or you can start to use those currents, use the wind and all the other resources around you to steer you into your desired goal. And there's nothing wrong with having desires. Absolutely nothing wrong. It just um, comes into really tuning into what is authentic for you and really questioning where you want to go, who you want to go with, and to really give yourself permission to step into your own journey, and that it's okay to steer your life in the direction that you choose, so long as it's not causing direct harm to other people. And that's coming into the realms of universal law as well. I hope that answered your question. That was a little bit of a rant, but yeah, big love to your brother. And for anybody else that wants to send in a question, I'm all open. We'll just see where this goes. I am really inspired from this last catharsis that I've been on in the last almost a year, and coming out the other side and have embodied a deeper sense of maturity and wisdom as well, really embodied in the physical. And a big lesson for me was to not focus on the dreaming and the potential of circumstances so much as looking at the actions and looking at my own actions and behaviors as well, to really be accountable and to take responsibility for my own life. And when you do that, you have the power to liberate yourself from any unnecessary drama and any unnecessary suffering. So, yeah. Mwah.